What's slicing, everybody? Chris back with the CIC knives, and here with another knife review video. Just a quick tidbit on Monthly Knife Club. If you guys see my last video, you know I talked about them sending me a knife again, the same knife, this Bear & Son here, as a matter of fact. They have made up for that by sending me a different knife and letting me keep the other one. Those who aren't aware, they sent out the same knife twice. They sent that knife out 2 years ago. And I emailed them and I said, hey, the whole point of a knife subscription, a random knife subscription, is I get a different knife every month. I ended up getting a knife that I've gotten before. I don't really agree with that. And they were like, oh my gosh, we're so sorry. We didn't even realize they sent it out. I don't know how you don't realize that you sent it out one time. But they made up for it by sending me a knife for free, and they said just keep the other one. And this is what they sent me. So this is this Gerber copper knife, which the name is eluding me for now. I'm sure the name of the knife will be down in the description, but because my box it's back there in the closet with all my other knife boxes. But I really like the look of copper and black. I think they look really nice together. Now it's hard to always tell how large a knife is on the camera, just because you don't know how far away and everything you are. So I like to start off with the size comparisons usually in my videos, so you can get a sense of how big the knife is while we're reviewing it. The best way for me to do that is by bringing out some of the most popular knives that can be found in a lot of different collections. So here we got a QSP Penguin and a Rat 2, both of which I have reviews on my channel, and I have a video showing that very beautiful, heavily customized Rat 2. And then here we got my Demco 80-20.5, which I also have a review up on the channel for, and my Civivi Elementum in that gold shred carbon fiber. As you can see, this Gerber knife is pretty long. They refer to it as kind of a gentleman's carry, I guess. Can bring out another what would be considered a gentleman's carry in this Boker Plus. Gosh, the name of this knife's eluding me as well. And it's a Lucas Burnley design. So it's there. The CEO is CRKT, isn't it? But it's basically Boker Plus's version of the CEO, which also was kind of made in this slim, sleek profile. You can see on knives like this, they generally are long and thin and slender. And I guess you could call that gentleman's carry. I don't know. Before we really get into the specs of the knife, this is real copper. Somebody did grind it down and check, and this is actual copper, because I know at one point there was a video going around that was saying it's not copper, but they grinded it down deeper into it, and it is in fact real copper. It's not copper plated. It is solid. It's a solid piece of copper. I guess they didn't necessarily test the plate, but I mean, why would you not make that little plate copper? But let's get into the knife. First off, with copper. Copper is generally a heavier material. I have a copper knife here that I've owned for a while. This is a Rough Rider lockback. I've owned this knife for a good while, and I don't know if you can tell or not in the camera, but a lot of times with copper it patinas, and you can tell that this is patinaed way more than the brand new Gerber, obviously, because this is fresh out of the package. Still got that real nice normal shine where the patina has a shine on it, but you can just tell it's a worn-in copper. And, you know, people like the looks of patina copper more sometimes, and sometimes people like the looks of that fresh shine copper. You can get polishes and stuff to try to keep things like copper and brass all shiny, though I'm sure eventually they will still patina over time. People have been finding cool things to do with things like copper and brass, which is the case with this QSP Hawk. This is actually copper intertwined with carbon fiber, and that's very cool to me. This kind of copper doesn't really seem to have patina very much. Even if it did, I doubt you'd really be able to tell. But those are just some of the other knives that I own that have copper on them. Copper and black do look really good together. This was also copper and black. But let's get into this knife and my overall thoughts. So you have, surprisingly, even though it's copper, it doesn't weigh as much as what I expected it to. You have this adjustable thumb stud on here, and I mean, take it for what it is. Gerber knives are generally a hit or miss. I would say their quality has gone down exponentially for their knives that aren't made in America. Their USA-made knives, I know, are pretty good. But their Chinese-made knives, like this one, they're okay. They have this, you know, I don't know if that's a DLC coated blade or not, but you know, that'll protect it. This knife sells on the internet for around 50 bucks, so we're gonna keep that in mind in this review. You know, copper is not necessarily an expensive material. So, and then this is all just stainless steel here. The pocket clip's pretty good, and I do like that they put a plate over. It is a frame lock, and the things with frame locks, generally, let's see if I got, let's just use the bear here. So the things with frame locks is, if you're pushing on the frame when you try to open the knife, it makes it extremely difficult. Let's see if I can. It was hard to open that in person. Let's see if I can. It's a much harder to open frame locks sometimes, because your fingers are accidentally pushing on the frame, and sometimes it takes some practice to get them opened. But with this plate here, that's not an issue. And I do like that. For $50 in modern day times, come on, guys. Put bearings on your knife. Why are we still using washers? Like, what? Why can this Kubi knife come with bearings and be insanely smooth for $15 less than this knife? Why? There's absolutely no reason. I'm fine with companies using washers sometimes, okay, as long as it's done correctly. Why my Elementum, I believe, is on washers. Did you see that drop? Yeah. I bet this Gerber won't drop like that. Guarantee it. Yep. Nothing. Look, I have to really push it. Why not? Why not use bearings? I just don't understand. I mean, I guess washers prevent it from falling shut as easily, but if you're going to do washers, at least do them correctly. The knife itself is, I mean, it's copper and black. It's what copper and black's going to look like. I don't think it has a prayer to match up against knives. I think this knife's called the Quake, actually. Against this Boker, it just doesn't have a prayer. I'm pretty sure this steel is D2. Which for $50, that's okay. You know, you can pay $10 more and get this VG10 with fat carbon handles. But, you know, it's not a bad price point for the knife. I'm not very impressed with it. I'm not, you know, dispressed the one-sided thumb stud is kind of a disappointment. Of course, if they're not going to use the ability to get the knife to open and close very smoothly, then I guess that makes sense to only use one-sided thumb studs, because you wouldn't be able to flick this knife open backwards anyways. Bringing to the point of adjusting the pivot, why? Why, Gerber? Why? Just why? Why are we using that? What do you even call that? That square? I looked in, my set of tools here, and I have some square bits in there. I have a 1, 2, and a 3 in terms of whatever sizing that, that style of bit is using. None of them even fit it. Why did you do this? Why? I know there's some special tools out there that allow you to adjust this kind of a pivot. But if you're not going to include one, why are you using that as your pivot? Why? Like 99% of knives use, torque screws, right? T6s or T8s. Like 99% of knives. Why would you do this? You have been making knives forever, and you're doing this crap? This ain't like it's some fancy custom knife. It's just a normal Gerber from their Chinese factory. Why? I just don't get it. I could have made the knife probably smoother than what it is, but I can't with that. I can't. I tried using a flathead. It just didn't work. Yeah. I don't know why. Just that alone to me knocks it down. Knocks it down a grade. I don't know. In modern times, it's hard for me to like knives that aren't smooth. That's really making this knife a bummer to me. The knife not being smooth instantly. I mean, the look is great. I love copper and black. I love the custom pivot on this side. That's great. I like how that's where you put your logo. That's very clean. That's very sleek and very clean. The knife does have a sleek and clean look overall. And it looks sleek and clean on this side too. Gerber on the pocket clip isn't too bad. It's got a weird but cool design, kind of grid pattern there on the piece of copper with the plate. This knife had such potential. D2 with the look and quality and finish of the knife, that's not too bad. I'll accept D2 for $50. I will. With the copper and the coated blade and everything. Why did you have to ruin it by not allowing some pivot adjustments and making the knife just... It's hard to get it out. Like, yeah, see? Look at that. I should not have to do that with my knife. I should just be able to literally just, out. Little effort. I don't got to think about it. I mean, if you're going to do this to your knife, you might as well just go ahead and give it a better locking mechanism, a stronger lock, like a lockback, and just make the people have to do that. It takes about the same amount of work. I mean, heck, I can one hand open this. Easier. Easier. I can one hand open, because of the nail nick, I can one hand open my Rough Rider easier than that Gerber. Which is, it's just sad to me. I don't know. Gerber should know so many of these things by now. You should know this by now, Gerber. Like I said. Things with Gerber, man. Would I recommend it? Honestly, probably not. There's so many better knives for $50. There's so many better knives with copper on them, or using copper handles that have black all over them for $50. I can't say I personally would recommend getting this knife. I can't say that. But that's just, that's my opinion. That's my thoughts. If you like the looks of the knife enough, that probably warrants you getting it, because it does look good. Like, it looks good. The finish is good. It looks clean. And it does carry well. I put it in my pocket with this clip, and the clip works pretty well. It's not, you know, it's not deep carry or anything. You're gonna have that much poking out, but you could put a nice little like copper lanyard on this, or a copper lanyard bead with some black and kind of copper colored oh gosh, paracord on there. Losing my mind sometimes, I swear it. But boy, the knife it's okay. I would give it an okay rating. It's not the worst knife in the world, but it's by far it's very, very, very far from the best. So yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you continue to like my videos, consider subscribing. I get videos out every week now. I try to do at least one review a week of some sort. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.